So there's this new golden peasant in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and it has this really unique look to it because its body is made of glittering, shining gold. And looking at it, I'm left with many questions. Who made it? How is it made? And most importantly, what does this thing do? So I decided to take it for a little spin against an opponent that we all know and love, an army of small children. The battle started, and it seemed to just kind of hover there, nondescriptly, until a shadow was shown on the ground. And that shadow were the giant swords launched by the seraphim. Somehow, a lowly peasant had harnessed the power of the gods. And not only was it summoning seraphim blades, it was also teleporting around the map, decimating hobbit after hobbit. Yeah, this thing was definitely very strong, but I really wanted to test its abilities, so I placed a bunch of archers at its back. The battle commenced, the swords began to fly into the sky, and the archers all tried to shoot the golden peasant, but the arrows bounced off of him. He is a machine of holy devastation and retribution. But I wasn't done yet. I wanted to push this thing to the limit to see if we could take it down. But the flurry of arrows went in every single direction, and quickly the entire army was wiped out. Perhaps, if we could not shoot him, we could contain him. But it was soon quite evident that the harpooners were no better than the archers. These battles did not last at all. So we had to escalate things. Perhaps an army of ice giants could freeze him even if he had a little tiny baby head. But in the end, those targets, those big fat ice giant bodies, were just big fat targets for giant big fat swords. And sometimes the golden peasant didn't even need the swords. He could teleport around and defeat every ice giant. So we removed the ice giants, and instead we grabbed gods, Thors, tons of Thors. Perhaps this much man muscle with lightning hammers could deal the damage necessary to this golden peasant, but the seraphim swords were there instead. And no matter how strong, the golden peasant was there to repel every single attack. Even yeeted into the sky, the attacks continued to rain. So we removed the Thors. And now the true tests began, starting with Billy, the hero of all times. This was a worthy opponent and a worthy fight. Could Billy do more than simply die to the seraphim sword? So I took Billy and I pushed him further back. Maybe a little bit of range could assist that hand beam to... No, Billy was thoroughly disappointing. So we removed Billy and we went to find some peasants. We started with the super peasant, who immediately leapt into battle, yeeting the golden peasant halfway around the map. But that teleporting damage did tons and tons of work. The attempted sword strikes littered the battlefield as the battle went all over the place. They are really far in the distance. This is not a joke. And this fight is lasting forever. We have a red victory, which means the super peasant drowned. I was surprised, but not too surprised. Now it was time for the dark peasant, whose hands of God were capable of slamming the golden peasant, but the dark peasant's hands couldn't protect it from a sword the size of a small building. So we removed him and opted for a different peasant. In fact, I am almost certain this peasant was going to do the job. The unnamed peasant pulled the golden peasant in close. And we know what happens when it gets in close. The peasant turned into spaghetti. I was also quite certain that the golden peasant would lose to the chaos peasant, being absolutely spaghettified. But with the red victory, it seems the golden peasant had the last laugh. There were only two tests that I had left: Saitama and the Seraphim. The Saitama fight started as much as I kind of expected, until quickly Blue one-punched the gold peasant. And then finally, the Seraphim practically fighting itself, whose golden swords would do the job. But luckily, the golden peasant was able to duck, dodge, dip, dive, and dodge, and weave its way through the fights. Here, we have a true stalemate. But if you think this peasant was powerful. If you think this peasant was strong, you ain't seen nothing yet. And if I'm being honest, he kind of reminds me of the unnamed peasant. Also, did you notice that they added the sound to the unnamed peasant? Just listen to this. That is horrifying. But the Chaos Peasant is brand new, and he has his red miasma all around him, as well as these weird black spikes whenever he moves. And when I would summon units to fight him with, the Chaos Peasant would do this. As you can see, this is not your normal peasant. This is a brand new creation of devastation. We may have found a brand new, most powerful unit in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. So I thought to myself, we'll do something bigger, something more powerful. But the Chaos Peasant doesn't care. His black balls do this. If it's not contorting their limbs, it's summoning orbs from the sky. Though I am shocked to see that he can't contort these guys. However, where did Mr. Death come from? Can the Chaos Peasant summon additional units? This needs some investigation. Let's take the Chaos Peasant to a fantastic Halloween map. And I'm gonna summon a pile of different types of units. We're gonna try some shield bearers, try some hoplites, try something bigger like Minotaurs. How about a god like Zeus? But what about like a Da Vinci tank? What about a horse unit? What about Mr. Death himself? What happens when the contorting ability hits all of these different units? It's actually kind of cool following these balls in as they go. All of the different armor pieces have been increased and the body parts have been shrunk. But what will these balls do? I wanted to see the Minotaurs get contorted, but maybe now, Mr. Death! As you can see, this is Mr. Death's femur, now larger than his torso. His rib cage has swallowed his mind, and his forearm has been shoved through his skull. That's terrifying to look at. Oh, it might be time for a Minotaur. Let's see what happens. Oh, Minotaur, not meant to look like that. Minnie, what happened to you? Zeus, it's your turn. Yep, Zeus got contorted. But what about the tank? It seems like the physical properties of these barriers are completely immune. But we're not here just to test his contorting ability. We're here to test his power level. I want to continue to push the Chaos Peasant and see just how strong it is. So we're going to go with some Super Boxers. And the Super Boxers try to die. Is this even fair? This is beyond disgusting. Now I want to see if he can contort a Super Peasant to death. I don't think the Chaos Peasant has infinite life. If it gets hit, it might be destroyed. Now we get to follow the Super Peasant on the way towards the Chaos Peasant. Surviving so far. No, blue did manage to win. If you get close enough to the Chaos Peasant, you can beat it. It's basically a glass cannon. But with enough Chaos Peasants, could one of them contort the Super Peasant to death? As you can see, the Chaos Peasants are summoning units, and now the heat-seeking orbs are coming out for the Super Peasant. However, the Super Peasant, oh, it happened! I was about to say the Super Peasant was too fast, but then his shins went through his spleen. I like how the leg is like almost paper thin. The Chaos Peasant can be destroyed, but his contortion can destroy seemingly anything. But will it work on something as large as an ice giant? As you can see, the ice giant's face is now in its butt. Is this what it's like to look out the eyes of an ice giant? This ice giant nose is now a pancake. This ice giant's eyes are inside of its torso. We have to go bigger. I'm honestly a little bit scared to see what's going to happen here to these dragons who breathe fire on the chaos. Hey there, little dragon, how you doing? There's his bottom mouth. Where's its top mouth? And this dragon is blown up like a hot air balloon. Okay. The Chaos Peasant is powerful. It's weak, it can be killed, but its ability is super strong, even when it has one leg shorter than the other. But what if we make it fight the unnamed peasant? Honestly, I can barely remember what the unnamed peasant does. Doesn't it like spaghettify things? Who's gonna win, the black miasma versus the red mist? Let's see what happens. The black miasma approaches. Here come the orbs of the Chaos Peasants, but the black unnamed peasant seemed to have won. I'm gonna back the unnamed peasant up a little bit further. I want to see if something can happen. Can we contort the unnamed peasant out of existence. Here come the balls circling. Nope, we have another blue victory. Whatever the unnamed peasant is doing to the chaos peasant, it's killing him before the attacks can land. So we're gonna go to 3 chaos peasants. I want to see this ghost become contorted. Activating abilities. All of these chaos peasants now have these black streamers on them. That seems to be the attack. The balls go forward, circling around the unnamed peasant, and the unnamed peasant seems to be completely ignoring the attacks. The chaos peasants to this point have been successful, so I've summoned a bunch of them. Eventually, enough of this will occur and surround the unnamed peasant just like this. Balls going everywhere, but the unnamed peasant is shaking off the chaos peasant's abilities. It doesn't matter. Look, the unnamed peasant wins again. Here's an important question. The new chaos peasant who can die versus Saitama. Can we contort the One Punch Man out of existence? We're in the sweet spot where One Punch Man has to walk and approach the chaos peasant. The orbs are moving forward. Saitama dodged them, and now he's As you can see, the Saitama has been defeated because his spleen is out his anus, his brain is through his kidneys, and his shins have come out his toes. And yet the unnamed peasant seems to reign supreme. Now, there is one final test. A test that the chaos peasant is most certainly going to fail. There is no way that this peasant can take on the angel. As you can see, the angel begins to launch its attacks and the chaos peasant ignores them, but it needs to get close enough to use its abilities. But the problem is, here come the vanishing swords, and the orbs never had the chance to work. But if the orbs could land, is it possible? If we summon a lot of distraction units. For example, a row of halflings. And then I turn on god powers. And using the god power, I lift the chaos peasant. Come with me, chaos peasant. This is for science. And when we start the battle, I bring the chaos peasant up here to this monster. As you can see, he is launching his orbs at it's not happening. The seraphim is not happening to the seraphim. I keep moving the chaos peasant who's still alive, and we continue to launch orb after orb after orb at the seraphim. But no matter what we do, we cannot contort this angel out of existence. So there's a brand new cosmic peasant in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and he has this strange transparent body. I mean, it's so see-through that you can see other units through it. But I guess the question is, just what can this thing do? Also, why does it seem to have a belly button? So I slapped the cosmic peasant down on one side of the map, and then I grabbed a handful of squires. I mean, a big handful of squires. 100 of them to be exact. The fight began, and immediately it tried to do some sort of cosmic jump through space and time. And as it did so, it leapt into the back line of the units when suddenly these crazy purple explosions started to occur, and all of the squires were engulfed in this dark pink and purple energy. Meanwhile, the cosmic peasant was busy zooming around the map, destroying all the squires, all the while raining down more purple explosions. The cosmic peasant was a sight to behold. It seemed to be pretty powerful, but I wanted to test its strength. So we went to a new map, and we placed a squad of modded kitsune on the field. Kitsune? You know, the guys with the paintbrushes? The cosmic peasant zoomed across the map, teleported into the backline, and proceeded to wipe the kitsune that summoned inked copies of themselves. The blue faction won specifically because the cosmic peasant kind of zoomed himself off the map to his death. So we learned that he can fall like any other unit. Even Saitama could fall off the map. So we brought the cosmic peasant to a much more wide open area, and then I proceeded to put one of every single unit onto the battlefield. This definitely was a massive mistake, until finally one of every base faction was on the field. I think the cosmic peasant is really going to enjoy this. The battle began, and the purple and pink explosions began to rain down. Oh, I've lost sight of the cosmic peasant. Oh, there he is, going straight after Bjorn, sending him flying. Man, those explosions look so good in slow motion. The Cosmic Peasant is really powerful, zooming around the map, summoning these insane explosions. And quickly, one by one, all the units are being wiped out. The Cosmic Peasant is definitely powerful. We need to step this up even further. So I brought the Cosmic Peasant to the medieval faction and confronted him with a small army of wretched emissaries. They're not so hideous when they're blue, so it's not like blood. It's more like ink. And watching them through the Cosmic Peasant is crazy cool. The fight began and they immediately punched the Cosmic Peasant from the ground, and I wasn't even able to see him. Oh, look, right there. I found the Cosmic Peasant. He's going straight for the belly of these disgusting emissaries as their blue ink goes everywhere on the battlefield. And in full speed, it's just limbs in every single direction. But the emissaries were no match for the Cosmic Peasant, so we had to escalate things further. How about some tanks in the desert? Operation Desert Storm is nothing compared to the Cosmic Peasant. Did you have to be so mean to Modern Man? How about the Cosmic Peasant versus a pile of zombies? Could you even turn him into a zombie? Quicker than a flash, he teleports above and rains death from every direction. The Cosmic Peasant is dancing amongst the zombies into the ground. He literally doesn't care about physics. Man, look at him punch. That's just so rude. Some of the zombies are trying to latch onto the Cosmic Peasant, but he doesn't care. He's turning the zombies purple as opposed to them turning him green. One by one, the zombies fall as the Cosmic Peasant. This thing is so strong. Christmas is almost here after all, so this map is perfectly fitting to bring the Cosmic Peasant to, especially when jolly old Saint Nicholas and his army is around the corner. What a beautiful sight as the Cosmic Peasant dodges the bells, dodges the snow boulders, dodges the gingerbread houses that explode into an army of gingerbread men. The Cosmic Peasant does not care. Purple and pink explosions in every single direction. The Cosmic Peasant. It's not fair, man. Now, an army of wizards, an army of Gandalfs against the Cosmic Peasant. Can they unleash their beams of doom and send the Cosmic Peasant into the sky? They did! They're actually doing it. They're sending the Cosmic Peasant flying into the sky. Hold on. It'll be around here somewhere. Okay. Does anybody? Oh, because he teleports. The Cosmic Peasant is able to teleport and then get attacked by the Gandalfs and sent flying before he teleports. This is so insane. Oh, you know what we need? We need to see the Gold Peasant. There's one thing you may not know about the Ghost Peasant. He has really big hands. I mean, really big hands. And the Ghost Peasant, using these big hands, likes to decimate entire armies. But this is just scratching the surface. The Ghost Peasant has a secret ability. You're gonna watch these berserkers leap in and the Ghost Peasant explode with dark evil power. And now, the Ghost Peasant uses ghostly abilities, has summoned dark, evil, ghostly figures of other units in the game. So just how strong is the Ghost Peasant? And can he defeat the other peasants? That's what we're gonna find out today. For our first task, freeze! Don't move! Wow. You're under arrest because you have not hit the subscribe button yet. Do so! Join us! Subscribe right now! Join the murder of crows. We're gonna come here to the legacy world with tons of room to play. And now, we're gonna surround the peasant with all sorts of units. Just gonna go bigger circles just like this. Though when they design these peasants, I'd like for them to give them a little more Hulk bulk, if you know what I mean. He's so scrawny. And how do they give him this really weird ghostly appearance? Like you can see the units behind him when you're looking through them. Oh, we're about to see that giant explosion in 3, 2, 1, go! Where is it? Where is it? It's coming. It's right there. He's being stabbed 37 times in the chest, but instead of the explosion, he just throws his ghost flames straight to the ground. I thought he was going to do the big explodey. I was very wrong. Well, in that case, we need to escalate this even further. Come on, what's the worst that could happen? Short of my computer melting and breaking and turning into a pile of flaming hot mush. This is nearly 250 empty hoplites. Let's see what they can do. We'll do a little slow-mo. He goes up, shoots the flames straight down, and as you can see, massive armies, no concern. The ghost peasant shakes him off like a bad cold, tosses him into the air like a paper bag or plastic bag, whatever the song goes. And I'm surprised he hasn't done the massive explosion yet. I wonder what it feels like to be corrupted by the ghost flames. There's explosion and everything just died. Oh, that ability is so powerful. But, just how powerful? This is the Ignis Slasher. Maybe he's a worthy opponent of the Ghost Peasant. Oh, look at those abilities skewering through the Ghost Peasant. Who died? Oh, the Ghost Peasant is stronger than I expected. I really need to ramp this up. What about the Ghost Peasant versus the Dark Peasant? I think this is a very important question. Oh, I think the Dark Hands of God are gonna stop the projectiles. Blue victory. Oh, okay. I'm surprised. The Dark Hand of God was about to slam the Ghost Peasant into the ground, but the Ghost Peasant actually managed to get around the Dark Hands of God and damage the Dark Peasant. But what about the Super Peasant? Is the Ghost Peasant stronger? This is a massively important question. Okay. Hold on. What is happening? Oh, we have another blue victory. Super Peasant got destroyed, and I can't even tell what's going on in here. Wait, what is that? Super Peasant. Super Peasant's got a dark face. Was a Super Peasant converted into evil by the Ghost Peasant's ability? Well, that's insane. So this is probably a massive mistake. On the one hand, you have the Chaos Peasant, who we know is very powerful. And then, on the other hand, you have the Ghost Peasant, who we know is pretty strong. And then we put them in a lava pit. A massive lava pit. Well, vote down below. Let's see who you think is the strongest of them all. My money's on the Chaos Peasant. In 3, 2, 1, go! Slow-mo. Activate. The Chaos Peasant wants to fire off its orbs. Chaos Peasant. Oh, no way! The Chaos Peasant actually died before the orbs could disfigure the Ghost Peasant. I did not expect that. Well, in that case, we're gonna go with 2 Chaos Peasants. Hopefully something can land a blow here. Oh, there we go. Dodging, deflecting, red victory. Oh, okay. So it takes 2 Chaos Peasants to defeat 1 completely warped out Ghost Peasant. So 1-on-1, Ghost wins. 2-on-1, well, Chaos wins. Now, this is a fitting location for a fitting fight. This horror map is perfect when we're talking about the unnamed peasant here in the darkness versus the Ghost Peasant hiding here amongst the trees. Who do you think is gonna win? My money is on the unnamed peasant, though I was wrong last time with the Chaos Peasant. Let's find out in 3, 2, 1, go. The fight begins. Unnamed peasant does something. Red victory. The unnamed peasant spaghettified the Ghost Peasant? No, I'm just trying to find him. Oh, there he is. There's a Ghost Peasant turned into spaghetti. Well, in that case, what about 2 Ghost Peasants? I need to see. I need to know. Maybe it takes 2 of them to Nope. I mean, I know you can't tell because of the massive ball of darkness, but there is. Oh, wait, what? Ah, there's the Ghost. There's the unnamed peasant. Apparently, the tree reveals him. Okay, 3 Ghost Peasants versus 1. Okay, 3 Ghost Peasants versus 1 unnamed peasant. Oh, there's a Ghost Peasant right there. I want to see him turn into spaghetti. There he is. Okay, he's right there. Whoa. Oh, so many things. There's a tank. There's a ballista bolt. So many things have been spaghettified by the unnamed peasant who still wins. An unnamed peasant versus a Chaos Peasant and a Ghost Peasant. Maybe the 2 together can take on the unnamed creature. No, we need more power. 3 Ghost Peasants, 3 Chaos Peasants versus a single unnamed peasant. Let's see what happens. Huge explosions of power in every direction. There are plenty of units still on the field, and we still have a red victory. This is a mistake. As you can clearly see, this is gonna be a bad idea. I tried to pause the fight. There's an unnamed peasant in the middle. Okay, the fight paused. I'm now in the center of the darkness. Let me out. Okay, what I did was I surrounded a single unnamed peasant with a circle of ghost peasants, followed by a circle of chaos peasants. As you can see, they're on the outside. Actually, you can kind of see the feet of everybody. We have chaos peasants here on the outside. I'm going to slowly creep in. Then you've got the ghost peasants here. And in the middle, who I cannot even see, is an unnamed peasant. And right now, let's just back out of this massive explosion of darkness and power and hold the slow-mo button and see what happens. Explosion of darkness from all of the ghost peasants spreads out in every direction. There's like 60 units on the field. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go in. Let's see what happens. Working my way through the waves of darkness to the center of the battlefield, and there's spaghettified on the... Okay, so ghost peasants here. There's ghost peasant hands blocking me from getting in. I think I caught a glimpse of the unnamed peasant in the middle here. It's just chaos. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna continue the fight here in the middle. Look at the spaghettified remains of everything on the inside of this fight. And they did it! Okay, the name of the game is really simple. If you didn't know, we have a lot of different types of peasants in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. And the question is, which one is the strongest? To discover the answer, I have a handful of tests for them. The first test is a speed kill test versus the same army. And that army is 200 halflings. Which peasant kills these tiny children the fastest? And that's just the first test. Let's start with the OG Dark Peasant and get a feel for how quickly he can mow through this army. Oh no. It was really quick at first, but then the kill speed kind of slowed down towards the end. I'll give you a B. I mean, that was pretty good. Let's just replace him with his much more handsome brother, shall we? I have a feeling that this is going to be embarrassingly quick, though he goes fast and he zooms, but he does have to kind of work his way through the army almost one by one in rapid succession, but still one by one. This is taking a long time, Mrs. Super Peasant. Okay, in terms of kill speed of 200 hobbits, I'm giving you an F. That was bad. Let's take a look at one of my personal favorites, the Ghost Peasant. Just how quickly do you manage to go through all of these hobbits? So far, the kill speed is relatively quick. Those flames are doing the job. Humongous explosion, but it has spread out all the hobbits. They're now in multiple different directions, and if there's any that's living in different areas, it's just, this is an F. You absolutely failed killing these hobbits in any kind of a reasonably quick time. I like how he's standing back here as his minions go in to try and kill this one individual. Oh no, that's not the last hobbit, guys. Look all the way over here in the distance. Even more hobbits. This isn't just an F. This is an F minus. This is a double F. This is brutally bad. So what about the Chaos Peasant, who has those little orbs of like changing shapes and sizes? How quickly can you go through an army of 200 hobbit children who all leap in? The orbs come out. There's some decent explosions that do help a ton because the hobbits love to group up. That's an A. That's an easy A. He killed those even quicker than the Dark Peasant. Now for my other favorite peasant, the newest one in our family, the Gold Peasant. How fast do you murderify all the halflings? Well, you got the swords, and the swords, oh, they're gone. Oh, that's an A+. That's the fastest so far. And now the unnamed peasant, but I would like to pause for just a second to bring everyone's attention to the ultra rare, massive giant hobbit who spawned at random to the point where he's pushing his brothers out of the way so he can have some room. Well, giant peasant, you're probably the first to get spaghettified. Let's see how fast this peasant murders all these. That's a B+. That's a B+ or an A. I think the Gold Peasant has done it faster, but is this really a fair test? Let me explain. The problem with this test is that there's 200 hobbits and the hobbits die immediately. So a peasant that does more damage than another is at an equal playing field. So we should try this test again, but with units that have more health. And then I'll probably force the peasants to fight each other, but that's the third test. So we're gonna delete all the halflings, and we're gonna replace the halflings with units that are a little bit more chunky, and I'm thinking roughly 50. Tree giants have more health. They're easier to hit, but they're bulkier. Let's see how well this works. We shall start off again once more with the Dark Peasant, and let's see if his attacks can instantly kill. No, actually the tree giants are managing to live through them. So while the Dark Peasant was capable of slaughtering the halflings really quick, he's actually struggling a little bit with units that are a little bit stronger than before. Now the Dark Hands of God do a great job thrusting them into the sky. But in terms of kill speed on giants, I'm giving him probably a D, potentially even a fail. I think his much more handsome brother, the Super Peasant, would do a much better job wiping out all of these tree giants. Yeah, this is definitely a fail. Fail for the tree giant test. Okay, Super Peasant, prove me right. Decimate the tree giants, sending them in every single direction. It's like watching Goku go around the map. This is probably about a B plus. He really one-punched each and every single one of these. So the Super Peasant was much worse at the halfling test, but much better at the tree giant test. All right, Ghost Peasant, you had a hard time with the halflings. You sent them all flying, they all survived, and it made the fight take a long time. Can you do better against the tree giants? You do have some conversion, and you are using fire, and the fire does deal a significant amount of damage to all these tree giants. That's an A. Like, he killed that even faster than the Super Peasant, and he didn't send them flying, so that definitely an A. Now, the Chaos Peasant does have a really good ability. I do not know how strong the Dark Beam from the Sky is. We're about to find out. He will convert a few of them. Like, did he just use his ability on himself by accident? I backed him away a little bit. Yeah, he used his ability on himself by... He's dead again. He's dead again. Fail? Okay, Gold Peasant, let's see what you can do with your giant swords of heaven, as well as your teleporting boom-de-booms. Swords of heaven, hitting all the units, not instantly killing them. Many tree giants still alive. In fact, we have another blue victory. What are the tree giants doing? What is this shenaniganery? Let me just back this peasant up a little bit. All right, peasant, golden peasant, do your thing. Did he sort himself? No, there he goes. He's teleporting around, dealing his damage, getting through all the units. I don't know how he got murdered in the last volley. Then we have more swords coming. Guys, he's pretty slow against these tree giants. Maybe a C? Maybe even a D? Yeah, he's faster than some of them. D+. This one I'm really curious about. The unnamed peasant against all these units. The spaghettification of the giants. Relatively fast. Probably a C+ to a B because he casually walks around. The giants can't even swing at him because the spaghettification actually has collision detection. That's a C+ to a B-. I think it's time for some one-on-ones, don't you? Let's start with our two favorite brothers, the Dark Peasant and the Super Peasant. Allow me to see what the Super Peasant has punched the Dark Peasant under the ground. That's a problem. Yeah, is that going to happen if I move the Super Peasant further away? Are we going to see the Super Peasant do the same thing? Yep, it happened again. Punched under the ground by the Blue Peasant. Do we need to go to a different map? The punching into the ground problem is definitely a problem we've encountered before. Let me just do this one more time. Give them each some space. There we go. And now we've got a real fight and not just a simple punch into the ground. We got some slams, some punches. And the winner is Blue. The Super Peasant is stronger than the Dark Peasant. So if we remove the Dark Peasant and I add another one, such as the Ghost Peasant, well, the Super Peasant, using its amazing punching, whoa, huge dark explosion, units have been summoned and the Super Peasant has been turned into darkness itself and then wrecked. The Ghost Peasant just destroyed the Super Peasant. Well, in that case, we're going to use the Gold Peasant, who can do the whole summoning of the swords like this. You got the explosion. Whatever happened to the Gold Peasant? Gold Peasant? You're over here? you've been darkified? I don't know, you're still kind of gold to me, and you're casually walking forward, deflected like crazy, using insane teleportation abilities all over the ghost peasant. Hopefully the sword summoning can do something to the swords are missing. The accuracy is off, and I wonder if that's the gold peasant who did that. There's something that the ghost peasant does to the gold peasant that causes the accuracy to go the way of the dodo, but we have a blue victory, blue being the gold peasant. Well, in that case, we'll remove the dark peasant, the ghost peasant, and put down the chaos peasant. Can the chaos peasant do something to the gold peasant? Yeah, chaos peasant did the whole alternate reality thing and just like strip the gold of all its power, just shredded it. So now the unnamed peasant and the chaos peasant go at it. The unnamed peasant spaghettified the chaos peasant. But if I took the unnamed peasant and I backed it away, I bet you the chaos peasant orbs can no, guys, nothing in this game can defeat the unnamed peasant.